Sorry about that, video stopped. So why call for an uprising would even bring light to that, and that at the same time speak out against agendas which come from Illuminati, is beyond me. So I try to stay away from that kind of stuff. I only go to it if I'm being drawn to it spiritually for some purpose. So it seems like there might be a little bit of purpose behind it. So this video is just to kind of cover what I'm getting about it. And that is that I feel like I'm being targeted and singled out, and that there is some concern about my safety and all these other reasons. Now, as for why there would be concern about my safety, it's hard to say. It's hard to say. Sometimes it could be political reasons. It could be that there's people that think that I know something, possibly. I have no idea. I don't know why anybody would want to target me, much less hurt me. Makes no sense. But when you consider that some of us have a twin flame partner, and other people are always like trying to identify who is your twin flame partner, or who your family members are, what your life is like, it's hard to say. Apparently they will single people out to try to do public targeting. People are not awakened to these things. I try to help people as much as I can, but they're just not awakened to these things. Some people don't. They just, and this is what the angels were saying, is they just don't want, they don't want it. They don't want, they don't want to wake up. They don't want to. They want to stay in their, you have to want it. You have to understand that they do these public sacrifices, and there's so many different ways these things can go. They'll publicly target someone for embarrassment, for a takedown, to silence someone, to slow them down, to slow down their collective. Sometimes they have an agenda to try to control how fast the ascension is going. So that's why they target light workers. And then you have intelligence reasons. There's just so many different things that can go on. And they have been doing this stuff since the beginning of time. Like he says on Call for an Uprising. And
you know what they say, right? Lions and tigers may be more powerful, but wolves, they don't perform in the circus.
Exactly.
You know what they say, right?
Yeah.
Lions and tigers may be more powerful, but wolves, they don't perform in the circus. You know what they say, right? Lions and tigers may be more powerful.
Interesting that he's saying wolves don't perform in a circus. Because Britney Spears does that circus act song, and her dad literally wears that hat all the time that has a wolf on it. And I'm like, do you represent wolves or do you represent a circus? And what is the confusion with that? I don't know. So Archangel Michael was highlighting some things yesterday too, and he said the devil's den. He didn't say it to me. I put it together through the codex, and through what I see, and his numbers were there confirming what I was seeing, and he's talking about the devil's den, and I don't really know why or what that means exactly, but probably has to do with the dark matrix. It probably has to do with Hollywood. I would think that that's most likely what it's about. So I don't know what they want from me, but I'm just letting my collective know that this is what's happening. So the guy's last name was Berger. I watched a movie about Cokesville. I seem to be singled out in that movie. They have pictures of everybody seems to be all of a sudden highlighting a lot of what I shared on my Facebook about my sacred union and how I started first meeting my divine masculine, having encounters with my divine masculine around 5th grade, which is right around 1987. So when you've never physically met your twin flame, though, or in a situation like mine, it can be very strange because for a while you may not know exactly who they are, and then there's been karmics that rise up and people who try to play the role of the masculine. And there's been stand ins, and there's been soul family and ancestry and stuff like that. So, a lot of the masculines that are connected to me are, we share ancestry, we share heritage, or we're actual family. So, when somebody says release a karmic partner, I'm just like, that's weird because I don't know if that's for me. It might even just be for somebody else. I really don't know. It could be the masculine that needs to release a karmic. But anyway, so also we were given advice like through the Akashic reading that I did, problem solving, leadership, and planning. So I don't know what to say about the Idaho murders. I don't have any insights on what happened to those people. I'm just now going to sit down and kind of like listen in since Spirit has been talking about it and see what I get from it. But I already said earlier that yes, I did see this Jerry Curl. He didn't look like that guy they have arrested for the murders, but the person I was seeing in my vision was obviously a spirit. It wasn't a person. It looked like a person till he turned and looked at me. When he turned and looked at me, he was like like that weird long ghostly face and hollow inside his face. Really, really demented. Like something out of a horror movie. And it was just one of those waking visions that I get sometimes when I'm like coming out of a meditation or before and after I go to sleep. That's when I will often have like a waking vision. So that's when that happened. It wasn't like it came while I was listening to any information or like I even knew exactly what I was channeling. It happens to me in flashes sometimes and kind of random. It's less random the more I'm grounded and the more I'm working with the archangels. That's when it's a little better. So I don't know if you're interested in what I'm picking up spiritually and what I'm putting down here in the Akashika. Be a really good time to try to awaken. You have a choice. You have a choice. Are you going to choose love, or are you going to keep following false agendas and putting your energy and your source energy into what you already know is lies, falsity, worldly matrix, wickedness, evil, a drain of your energy? It's just that simple. And that's what I'm here to help people with, is just to help you iron out these spiritual things for yourself. And that's what twin flames are supposed to be doing. Yes, we have our own healing to do, but we're supposed to be doing these deeds and helping others and helping them understand that it's about where you put your source energy. Go put your source energy into your own healing. Yes, your own wholeness, your own love life, your own relationships, your own dreams, pursuits, and happiness, your own, first off, your own relationship with God, coming to know God. And then stop putting your energy into the wrong people, places, things, information, falsity, agendas. Like, you just have to choose to stop or continue. And if you choose to continue, you got to deal with the consequences of that choice, whatever those consequences may be. If you choose love and you choose God and you choose your twin flame journey or your ascension, and anybody taking their ascension seriously is on a true twin flame journey. They're not just trying to get views on YouTube. They're really on a twin flame journey. It's your choice. And if you're on a twin flame journey, it's not something you're not giving testimony to. It's not something that you're not participating in. It's not something that you get to hang back while the feminines all try to iron that all out and go public and do testimony, and you never come forth and say anything. That's not what it's about. But I understand in a lot of cases, either men, when it comes to the males, they don't want to talk publicly. They don't want to give proclamation and testimony to God either. A lot of them don't. A lot of them are struggling with things like that. You know, it's not a judgment from me as I say these things, but so he's also talking about ancestry and DNA. My son said, I tried to talk to them about our heritage. I told them I'm a chief. I'm called Chief Bluefeather and stuff, and they still don't get it. They do not, and I don't know what it's gonna take. It's gonna, it's a God thing. But Challen's like, yeah, well, I want to get some stuff together, and we'll do that ancestry.com. And I'm like, no, you're not listening to me at all. Like, we don't need to do that. We don't need to do ancestry.com. God has all that for us. It's all right here. We don't need to go to any other source outside of God. We'll find, I know my ancestry, my bloodline. I shared that here. I shared it all, like as much as I could possibly think of that I knew about my heritage. I learned all of that from my spiritual journey. And that's how we're supposed to be doing that as twin flames. We're not supposed to sit around and do that, like send off our DNA to people. So those are some of the things we'll do. And maybe I should do a video and put it in my playlist for Akashika on how to do the prayers against anything that had to do with the womb. Including them maybe like taking our children's or ours DNA and sending that off to places where they're going to, that's how they know. And they know from taking your DNA for generations and generations. They track all the bloodlines that were connected to Jesus Christ. And they're always doing that to slow down the ascension, to try to buy themselves more time to exist on this planet doing the evil that they do, and to house our planet. Which we need to take back our source energy and use it wisely and come awaken to these things so that God can assist us and we can walk within that, so we can have victory and deliverance as a species. Okay, so there's another twin flame here, and he's sharing stuff. God bless his soul and his twin flame, because they're doing it right. They're doing it right, and he said that the planet is being assaulted, and that is what it is. She's been under assault for approximately 5,000 or so years, And we've been in a state of deliverance at a universal level for approximately 2,000 years. So let's just say 6,000 years under some sort of assault or planetary cursing that's happening, and approximately 3,000 years, because even leading up to Jesus's actual walk on the planet, there were ascensions happening and prophets there were things happening for about 1,000 years before that. So let's say 6,000 years our planet's been under assault. Approximately half of that we've been trying to have a deliverance. That's a Gaia perspective on things. That's a Gaia truth. Whether you agree with that or what, that's a Gaia truth, and that's my understanding of it. Now, Christ doing what he did was so that we could all do what we do and have this deliverance. Our planet wouldn't have made it otherwise. And Christianity will tell you it's all because of Adam and Eve. They cursed humanity. Well, that might have been the beginning of it, but that's not why Jesus had to come. He never said, not one time did Jesus say, I had to come because of Adam and Eve. He didn't say that. He said he had to come because of the sin and to fulfill prophecy. And he said also that when he returned and even when he was here, do not come to bring peace. So these are very key important things to understand so that you can also avoid or come out of false indoctrination in terms of religion and spirituality. So that's what this video is. It's just an 11/11 update, part 1 and 2. I did a little extra today because there was a lot of stuff to cover. And I want to make sure I address these issues on this channel and say things about these things. So recently I felt I was being targeted on the algorithm, and now Archangel Michael took over. And he said it was a devil's den. In other words, he's calling YouTube, it seems like, a devil's den. And a lot of people will call it a cesspool. So I'm sure what he's saying is, I will assist you while you're here, but this is the devil's den. We can't hang out here. There's not a lot we can do here. It's not necessarily for us. So we just do what we can. We bring our light and truth, but they push stuff through on our algorithms, and they'll do that. It happened. They'll blame it on the AI. They'll blame it on groups they'll say people are trying to market to you and stuff like that, but no, a lot of it is worse than that. I don't know what's worse than AI, but an AI attack. But they were doing something last night. I got a message about there's a channel, and I guess they have a studio too, called Teller Morrow, and it looks like the guy on there is a stunt double for a popular actor, or maybe a few actors, and he kept coming up on my algorithm because I have been being shown a lot about the masculines, a whole lot, and that was one of them. And he came through one more time on my algorithm, and I was like, okay, why is there so many channels pushing Timothy Olyphant's show, Justified? Because at first I was like, Justified, okay, that's a good message to hear. Justified. And it just doesn't make any sense. I go to Teller Morrow channel where he posted on the side of a barn. He reveals that he's a stunt double for Oliphant guy, and then I go look at his shorts, and he's got a woman up there, and he says Armenia belongs to Iraq, period. And I'm like, Okay, when they say period, usually that's also something that they're throwing and targeting the sacred feminine about, because at one point I said period a lot when I was giving talks on Facebook. I don't know. That one's a little weird. But then I had that dream. It wasn't a bad dream, it was just a weird dream. It was a very vivid dream. But I feel like they were doing some sort of like, possibly some sort of, um, I guess just some sort of magic or some sort of ritual. I really don't know. Trying to embody the American sacred feminine and masculine. I don't really know. It's really strange. But it's called Teller Morrow Channel. And I do not know the guy that runs the channel. I do not know those people. I'm just now recently in the past couple years hearing about movies from Timothy Oliphant, shows, games, things like that. It's news to me. I didn't see a lot of his movies until recently, and they start showing more of his stuff on Netflix and YouTube. So I thought, okay, well that's all it is, and they're putting certain coding in it to speak to a certain collective. But then last night it became like, okay, this is now gotten uncomfortable and weird on my algorithm, and then sure enough, I have a dream. So don't know. Don't know what to tell you all except for what I am already telling you. Love you. Bye.